call the meeting to order. The agenda, okay with the agenda?
I move we approve it.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Minutes from the last meeting, did everybody get a chance to look them over? Check through them? Okay.
I would make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll
And I-
second it.
Okay.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. South Dakota DOT compliance review.
The DOT Office of Local Transit Programs came and did a compliance review on all of our transit operations, and they reviewed everything from financial to operational to every part of it. In your packet attached, it's our compliance review findings are in here, and I can go over them real quick with you. This was done on February 26th. So the first one, managerial capacity, there are no findings. Control environments, the finding was a formal written conflict of interest policy or code of conduct in effect for employees. The finding that they had, they didn't think matched what they wanted. So Justin found in city code how there is no conflict of interest. So the conflict of code or conflict of interest has been, that finding has been okayed by the city code that Justin found. Financial management, we had a few bills that were not paid within that 30-day window, and the reasoning is it comes from other departments. Say the street department gets parts for our buses, and then they get the bill, and then they send us the bill. Then we have to code it, approve it, send it to city council, and city council only meets the first and third Mondays of the month. So because of the process it takes to get to us, sometimes it's hard to make it within that 30 days. So our resolution for that one that they approved was getting a date stamp, and we now date stamp all of our bills when we receive them. So if they do come from another department, the 30 days is in effect from the date that we receive the bills.
Good.
So we're in compliance with that. Technology information systems was good. Satisfactory continuing control was good. Procurement, we needed an updated procurement plan, which I had ready, but we didn't have a meeting. So the procurement plan is on this agenda now for us to approve, and as soon as that's approved, we'll be in compliance. The purchases that we made have been submitted with FTA funds. Debarment suspension was good. There are no findings. Lobbying, there are no findings. DBE, disadvantaged business enterprise, there are no findings. Personnel, there was no findings. Equal employment opportunity, there are no findings. And then operations and service provisions. The service provisions, we have routing rules that we're using in our software, and those have not been approved, so we're no longer allowed to use those routing rules that we had established. The rest of that was all fine.
What does the routing rules include?
So how our software currently works, we enter all the rides into the system, and then we manually route them because we don't have our old system became obsolete, and we haven't paid to upgrade to a new system because it's rather expensive and it hasn't been working for all the transit systems yet. So we're waiting for it to work, and that would route everything for us. So what we were doing is we were putting in routing rules, so Joe wouldn't have to, or Wanda wouldn't have to click each person and put them in a route. They can just click that route and put them in a route. So now we have to manually do it one by one now. The state doesn't approve our routing rules. So that's what it is. I did put in, it's coming up here for the capital grant application to get that routing software. It's optimization. So we'll see if the grant is approved for that. Everything else has been fine, and we are now in the clear. We have very few findings. They were very impressed with everything that we had, and it was a very easy process.
Not surprising. Anybody have any questions or comments about that one? Okay, transit training.
Just want to give you an update on all the trainings that we've been attending to update the growth of transit. I've attended Transit Management 1, and Transit Management 2 is coming up on June 12th through 13th, and they'll both offer through NDSU. NDSU. I've also attended Invaluable Laws of Growth, and at the end of this month, I'll be attending Becoming a Person of Influence, and Everyone Communicates, Few Connect at the end of this month. So we're attending these trainings. They're paid for by the state, so it's good knowledge to have and good networking.
Transit Passenger Handbook.
So as transit evolves, obviously, and part of the compliance review, we made some changes in our passenger handbook, and it's attached. I don't know if you had any questions, but it's laid out a lot easier for the public to understand. Before it was kind of piece here, piece there, so I think it lays everything out and covers everything that it meets the compliance regulations from the state. They approved it.
Where do they get to see this handbook?
This is online, and
Okay.
if a passenger requests it, we will send it to them.
Okay.
Or if there's ever any concerns, we send them to them.
Yeah, good.
Okay. Any other questions?
I need approval for that.
Oh, we need approval for that one. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay. Alice Transit Complaint Form.
So also part of the compliance review, we found we needed to update our complaint forms. They have, you'll see there's 3 different ones coming up in your agenda. The first one is just your general complaint form for anybody in the public, and this is also on our website and can be requested.
Need approval on that one also? Okay. All those in favor of the new complaint form? Do I have to make a motion?
Yeah, we need a
Need a
motion.
motion?
Yep, all
Sorry.
these, yep.
Getting ahead of myself.
I'll move approval. I'll move approval of the Palace Transit complaint form.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. This is Title VI complaint form.
Yep, the Title VI is your non-discrimination complaint form, which is also part of our compliance review that we needed to update that as well. And this is the one that the state says will meet all the regulations and guidelines. And it's on our website as well and available upon request.
I move that we accept the compliant complaint form.
I'll second it.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
That one's a 2-pager.
Mm-hmm.
Non-discrimination complaint procedure.
So to go along with that as well, we had to update our complaint procedure processes. And that is also attached to your packet.
I'll move acceptance of that new procedure.
Second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Procurement plan.
So we've always had a procurement plan, but the thresholds have changed, and part of the compliance review was that we had to update the thresholds and update our procurement plan. So that is attached with the new thresholds in it.
I would move to approve the procurement policy.
I'll second it.
All those agree?
Aye.
Opposed?
That's a big,
Okay.
big policy.
And we use procurements for any type of bidding process that we use
Sure.
or to acquire things.
DOT capital gain application.
So the DOT has a capital application out. It is due May 11th, which is this week. It has been approved by City Council. I'm just Today we need your approval as well to apply. The things that we are applying for are new cameras. Actually, be an addition to what we have. It would be cameras inside each of the buses. There'd be one at the front and one at the back. And our hopes are to deter any type of activity that could happen on the bus and help with behaviors. And also, we have 2 office computers that have met their useful life capacity. So we'd like to replace our 2 office computers, especially if we're going to get new software. Our tablet license annual fee, we have to pay for the annual license fee anyway, so might as well apply for some grant funding to cover some of the costs. And the same with the Shaw Software annual maintenance fee. And then our final one that we're applying for is that optimization I talked about earlier to route the routes. So that way we wouldn't have to route the routes. That would save some steps for the dispatch. The cameras, federal funds, well, the total cost for the cameras is $19,056. The office computers, $750. Tablet annual license fee is $20,000. Shaw software annual maintenance fee is $26,000. And the Shaw software optimization is also $20,000. And it'd be an 80-20 on all those. So our local match would be the 20%, which is, sorry, I can write it quick. So local match would be $17,311.
Say that again.
$17,311.
Any questions about that?
I move approval of the DOT capital grant application.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Nutrition amendment.
So also in your packet is an amendment for our grant from the Department of Health, Human Services, DL is the Division of Long-Term, LTSS, Long-Term Services and Supports. They have upped our agreement for this year by 15 cents.
Anything, Tom?
Might as well approve that, yeah.
Okay. A motion for that?
I'll move acceptance of that application.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Senior Health and Living Fair.
We had our first annual Senior Health and Living Fair. I was going to tell you about it before we had it, but we didn't have a meeting to talk about it. For our first time ever having it, I was rather happy with the turnout. Everybody from the vendors to the participants that came were happy with it. I think we had lower attendance, but it was our first year, so I think with the word getting out, hopefully the attendance will increase. I sent out a survey monkey, which is a questionnaire to the people who did have a booth there, and they gave me some good ideas for changes that we might need to make next year. Those of you who are there, do you have any comments about it?
I was there and I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a booth there, went over well.
I talked with a couple of the vendors that were there, and they felt, I said, did you feel like you had enough, people coming through and all? And they thought, yes, very much so. They thought it was really a good thing.
Good.
So,
I tried to get a variety of vendors as
yeah,
well.
and it was a nice variety.
Yes.
And they all had information. I learned a lot.
Even as a vendor, I walked around and got a lot of good information too
Yes.
while I was there, so.
Yeah. No, I thought it was That was very good.
I definitely did, thanks to Jessica.
Yes.
When we also did, those who filled out their NAPAS forms, which is the Adult Nutrition Participant Forms, which we have to do annually anyway, those that filled them out got a free frozen meal. So we gave out coupons for the free frozen meals, and that seemed to be, we actually sold some meal tickets that day, sold some frozen meals that day, and they're interested about the dining card and all the other programs that we have, so it was successful on our end as well. We were happy with that. We had 24 booths total, and 21 of them were paid. We gave the free ones to our service agencies that we work with, such as LTSS, because they do give us funding, and ROCKS, they give us funding for transit passes and stuff. And our income after expenses was $3,148, and that was a fundraiser for the James Valley Community Center.
That's including the meals that were,
Nope, the meals is a different, because
different.
those meals we actually do pay out. That money goes to Todd.
okay.
So the free meals, I heard a great response on that as well.
The total income was, what was it?
$3,148,
Thank you.
and that was from booth fees.
Plus, we fed everybody.
Yeah, that's not even included in that.
That's included.
That's not, yeah.
And that- Yeah. But that was all
Yep.
paid for by
By sponsors,
vendors.
yep.
Okay, good.
Any other questions about that one? Are you planning another one next year?
As far as I know, yes, everybody seemed happy with it. They liked the date being a weekday. They liked it being in April because they said the snowbirds were mostly back, and they thought the timing was good.
And hopefully it's spring.
Hopefully.
Yeah, it's
You just
actually
never
spring.
know.
There was another event going on out at Davidson County, and some people thought that upped our attendance because people made a mistake and came to ours instead of going to the other. But I think probably in reverse it happened too, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Okay. Citizens input? None? Department reports and updates, House Transit.
So we have February, March. We didn't quite get April in, but we got February, March. On the bottom, it shows the total ride difference and the total mileage difference. We're up on rides overall. We're traveling more miles because of, well, being up on rides and now construction. We have to go around some things. We also, Head Start, so that's why it's separated, the 5311 and the total rides, because as you remember, we now contract with Head Start, not using our bus, it is now their bus. And we're using a rather old bus before, which I thought drove like a dream, because I drove it quite often. But it had some issues with the restraints and that kind of stuff, so they bought a brand new Head Start bus, and we just started using it this last month. The drivers love it, they said it's really quiet, the teachers are happy with the restraint systems now, and so we now have a brand new bus
Good.
for the Head Start program, but it's their bus, we just operate it for them.
Anything else on House Transit? Okay, Mitchell Volunteer Program.
Just shows, we just got reports for February, March, and April, just kind of shows what the volunteers have been doing. And we're at 256 volunteers right now.
Adult Nutrition.
There you got February and March. I'm not sure what happened to April. I thought April was in there. Anyhow, you got February and March. It shows where we're at for nutrition. The results for each month and overall for the year so far. Our fiscal year actually ends in May, so May will be our end of our fiscal year, and then June will start a new fiscal year.
James Valley Community Center.
We have all kinds of reports. If you've had a chance, they've been really busy. They've had some great activities. They have the raffle in here, the quilt raffle. Ticket sales was $1,688. Like I said, they did bus tours. We had a donation from the Exchange Club to put a new curtain on one of the doors. And then we had another donation from the Betchel family for the game room divider curtain, which is fantastic because now we are using that room for rentals, and we've never been able to use that room for rentals before. And we're very excited. We did some switching and changing, so those of you who haven't been down, come check it out. We've moved some things around. Membership is still going good. They're still getting new members every month, which is fantastic. They did the May Day basket silent auction, and I think the amount was down there somewhere. Oh, grand total was $650 for the pie and ice cream and the May Day baskets. And then just yesterday, we said farewell to our intern Desiree. She did a fantastic job while she was here. She only was required to put in 200 some hours, and she put in over 300. So she was fantastic. She really set the bar high for volunteer or interns in the future. For our first ever intern, I was very impressed and happy. I think she did a great job with her activities. And
That's a good thing to have and to, so
I think it
if
was
we
really
could do
good.
that again, that'd be great,
yeah,
yeah.
She interacted so well,
she did.
I'd say a week or so, she
Yeah.
had to get used to it, and she did really well.
And even when it came to nutrition, I mean, she had some great ideas and suggestions. She just stepped up whenever she needed to serve,
Right.
and
Mhm.
We miss, huh?
Yeah. very
Yeah.
much.
Good bus trip too,
Yeah, to Watertown. Everybody was very happy with that, and
that was really good.
Do we have some way, anybody have suggestions that we can get, like some donations or whatever, that we can get legally for our sound system is in bad shape?
our sound system is shot. We are
Yes.
currently running a fundraiser for a new sound system that's going to cost $6,100. Is that what it was?
65 is what I remember.
It's over $6,000.
Yeah.
And if every member contributed $21, we would meet our goal. But getting every member to do that has
No.
been a struggle. I think we're at 1,300 right now of our goal.
About close it is.
Yeah, so I mean, we really do need a new sound system because it doesn't work. And what they're using right now is the podium and that microphone and speaker, and that's starting to wear out as well.
As evident yesterday.
Yeah, it was not working so hot yesterday.
I didn't hear her.
So the speaker system yesterday, the podium was not working very well yesterday.
Yeah. Mhm.
So if you know of any ways to get some funding for our sound system, or if you have a rich relative that wants to make a donation,
My husband is working on the barber shop group to make a donation. But
Yeah.
if anybody else wants to put an input in there too.
Yeah, there's other service organizations in town that maybe we need to make a plea to. That would be,
That's what I was
Exchange
Yeah.
lines.
And sometimes
do
even
stuff like
some of your businesses,
pardon?
lots of times some of your businesses will
Yeah.
donate in memory of and different stuff.
That's what I've been doing. I've had several friends so instead of, I'm just giving that way. So
that's great. Like I said, if we got every member to donate $21, that's all it would take.
Yeah, it's not very much.
We have a lot of members though that's a stretch.
Yeah, that extra would be hard. But we've probably got some that could, who,
Could you double?
Oh, at
Yeah.
least.
yeah, maybe we just need to keep pushing that whole thing. There's people that don't read anything. They don't pay attention to signs. They don't, I mean, we've got a big poster there with music notes on it and all of this kind of stuff, but they don't even look at it. So just keep pushing it every time they make an announcement. I don't know.
And there's even a few that don't see the need for it.
Oh,
I know, I've heard that so many times.
Yeah,
I'm afraid that our portable system's not going to work anymore, and for bingo especially,
Yes.
they won't have
There's
anything.
No doubt in my mind how they can stand the squeals and so on. I don't know, but
we'll have to go get,
Yeah.
go find some megaphones?
That's
Yeah.
just what I was gonna
Yeah.
say.
Do you have contact information for all the members,
Yes.
email or
Mhm.
something?
Yeah.
And we put it in the newsletter, but maybe we should send an email out.
It won't hurt.
Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe even Facebook.
Well,
We
remember,
do other
most
things.
people don't even
Or would a phone call help?
any
Yeah.
technology.
Yeah,
yeah.
If we get a, assemble a volunteer team
Yeah,
to make
that's
phone
it.
calls?
That
Sure.
would be even better.
yeah,
I would think,
Yeah.
because a lot of them people don't have any technology.
Mhm.
yeah. I
They
know.
don't have a Facebook, they don't have.
And maybe pushing it at bingo, maybe they aren't realizing it would affect the bingo games.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, and that's one of our good money makers.
Right.
I don't think we paid it twice a week.
Anything else with James Valley Community Center? Okay, next meeting.
So the next meeting is scheduled for June 13th. However, I will be at that Transit Management 2 course. So did you want to just skip next month, or do you want to try to reschedule it for a different date?
Do you have anything
Yeah, what do you have
coming up? that-
We're all caught up now.
Just took 3 months to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be gone the following week, I know. I'm going out of town, out of state for vacation.
So what would July take you to?
It'd be July 11th.
Maybe we'll
That'd be
have-
fine if,
Yeah. I would say that,
So
if
skip
something
June.
came up, we could notify them
Right.
if we had to have a different meeting.
so July 11th.
Meeting adjourned.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, that. We tried to be late.
Oh, you guys having everything sent out ahead of us too, that helps, so we can actually review it beforehand. too.
Yeah. I sat down with that last night and went, whoa.
Looked at it when I first got it, I screened through, and the highlights are really helpful, because then I can tell what's changed.
Yeah,
I
I
don't have to
agree.
read through the